It's peaceful here, it's beautiful. You just kind of feel any tension go down.
The garden is a magical place.
I love just the feeling I get as soon as I walk through the gate into the garden. I just feel more present and connected with nature.
For 63 years, the Portland Japanese Garden has been a cornerstone of Portland's cultural identity, bringing the tranquility and traditions of Japan to the Pacific Northwest. Hidden in the West Hills, it's also a haven, inviting visitors to slow down, breathe, and reconnect. Now it is entering a new chapter, one being shaped by two new leaders. Joining us today, co-CEOs Aki Nakanishi and Lisa Christie. Aki joined the garden in 2018. In addition to co-CEO, he's also the Arlene Schnitzer Curator of Culture, Art, and Education. Aki also previously served as the director of the Japan Institute. And Lisa Christie joined the garden in 2014 as Director of Marketing and Communications. Lisa later served as Chief External Affairs Officer, then Executive Director, before being appointed co-CEOs this year. Lisa and Aki, thank you both so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, yeah.
On a rainy day in Portland.
It's our specialty.
It is, right? And the garden's still beautiful, for sure. Well, starting this year, the two of you became co-CEOs of the Portland Japanese Garden. Both of you have experience working together at the garden, but talk about this unique partnership and how it works. Lisa, I'll start with you.
Sure. It's helpful because we've worked together for 8+ years already, and we already knew each other's strengths and what we bring to the table. So we've been sort of practicing this for a little while, and when we were appointed as co-CEOs in January, it just felt like a natural transition. I'm doing what I love doing for the garden. Aki does what he loves doing for the garden, and we work together and keep communication open.
Wonderful. And Aki, talk about it for you, and the bicultural aspect of this too is important.
That's right, yeah. The garden itself was really founded on that very ethos of being bicultural as a place of mutual understanding and respect through our shared appreciation from nature and culture. So yeah, we truly do still embody that very fundamental kind of ethos and philosophy. Yeah.
And you do have separate roles in some ways. Just give me a brief about that.
That's right. I specialize in sort of the operations and administrative functions as well as the guest experience.
And I do a lot of cultural programs basically. I create cultural initiatives, anything from exhibitions, festivals, lectures, workshops, demonstrations, international forums, at the garden and beyond. So,
wow, great partnership. Well, for those who have not experienced the beauty of the Portland Japanese Garden, it's located up in Washington Park in the West Hills. Aki, describe it for us.
The garden has been a true safe haven for the past 64.5 years. Actually, we'll be celebrating the 65th anniversary next year. But yeah, it has been a place of beauty and contemplation. And ever since we had that architectural expansion project completed in 2017, it has also become a platform for civic pride, community building, and also place where we can have a social discussion around things that are important to society, actually.
Yeah, and all cultures.
Yes.
Lisa, if people haven't visited the garden for a while, there has been a lot of change and a major expansion starting about 10 years ago. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's interesting because you ask people, hey, do you know about Portland Japanese Garden? They say yes. And you say, have you been recently? No.
No.
So we always encourage people to come and come again often because A, it changes with the seasons, but as you mentioned, it's changed quite a bit over the past almost 10 years. When we did a whole expansion, we added about 10 acres to the garden, mostly on the outside of what we call the historic gardens. So those have been preserved, but outside you've got cultural centers, classrooms, places for workshops. You've got an additional area for a bonsai terrace, which is always a popular favorite. And those will return in April, by the way, for those who are marking their calendars.
Mark the calendar, right?
Yeah, it's just it's a place where you get to experience, as Aki mentioned, so much more besides the garden itself. So it really, truly is a cultural center.
Yeah, a jewel for Portland. So it's beautiful year-round, obviously, but we're heading into spring. The weeping cherry has signs of blossoms, yet we are in the middle of a very rainy week here, towards the end of a rainy week. What's it like right now? What should people expect coming up this spring?
I would say it's about 30%, in terms of the blossoms that we get to see across different types of cherry trees. The Yoshino trees in particular, they are coming up, but not quite yet because of the rainy days that we've had the past several days, actually, the lower temperatures than usual. But we have something called the Sakura Tracker, actually available up on our website, where people can actually constantly check in to see what the state of the cherry blossoms, basically, up at the garden.
Yeah, I did notice that on the website. That's a nice feature, and then you can go on up and see for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you hoping for spring? What are you looking forward to, Lisa?
Man, I love it. So the rain, I know the rain is kind of a bummer on some of these gray days, but it has made the moss so beautiful throughout the garden. So it's so green. The cherry blossoms are just around the corner. What's great about them is because we're up on the hill and a bit shady, we're about a week or so behind Portland.
Okay.
So whereas you see cherry blossoms now, you'll see them a little bit later up in our garden. And then coming in the spring, as I mentioned, the bonsai will be returning in April. We love that. And then May is just the perfect month for, especially if you go on Mother's Day. You've got wisteria, you've got the azaleas, the rhodies, and the camellias, all just a bloom.
You mentioned people saying, yes, I've been there, but it's been a while. I fit into that category, I have to admit, so I've got to get back up there for sure. How is visitorship, though?
It's been great.
Yeah.
In fact, last year was the highest number of visitors we've had since pre-pandemic.
Wow.
We're really excited about the fact that the city really feels like it's rebounding and people are getting out. At Mirrors, we've heard the stat that the downtown area had more foot traffic last summer than pre-pandemic, so we follow in that same category. We love it, and what we appreciate, though, and this is my tip for your visitors, is the visitation gets a little busy during noon. So come in either the first 2 hours or the last 2 hours, and you'll have the perfect experience.
Perfect. Chef's kiss. A lot of people come up on their lunch breaks and that kind of thing. Is that why it gets so busy midday, I guess?
I think that's just when people get out and about.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. And the parking situation a little easier, probably.
On those first or last hours.
It is amazing. It is so close to downtown. It's so easy to access, and Washington Park as a whole is a wonderful place. How is it to be set in that beautiful park?
It's actually gives people to kind of breathe in and out. Yeah, take in everything that Portland has to offer. This much greenery and environmental kind of sustainability notion all around us, actually. So 15 minutes down the road, you just get to downtown Portland, hustle bustle of, the urban city, basically, right? Urban space. But 15 minutes again, up the hill, you get to have amazing manicured landscapes all around, along with rose gardens, of course, just outside Portland Japanese Garden. So yeah, people just get to take in the whole range of what it is that Portland is really proud about. Yeah.
Let's talk, Aki, about some of the programming and exhibits. You've got a great wood block exhibit now, right?
Yeah, really excited to actually partner up, for the first time with Honolulu Museum of Art. We co-curated this show that showcases the true kind of centuries-old art form from Japan. That's woodblock print. Yeah, but we don't just show traditional kind of works, but we also show how that kind of torch has been carried by a whole bunch of international, print artists all over the world, especially from the United States.
Wow.
So yeah, we are showcasing 7 different artists, in terms of how they are actually finding their own voice in this traditional art form.
Yeah, in the contemporary time.
That's right, yeah.
Very cool. I'm going to stick with you, Aki, and I want you to talk about a relatively new arm of the Japanese Garden, the Japan Institute. You were director there before. Talk about that and its connection and its importance.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking that. We, after, cranking out so many different programs, ranging from artistic, cultural, and educational programs all around the year, totaling some 250 different programs. I mean, that's unheard of.
Wow.
At some point, we started realizing, oh my God, we need a new framework to really house everything in a more easier to kind of understand and follow kind of way. So we came up with a new brand called Japan Institute that literally kind of houses all of the programmatic activities at the garden, ranging from precisely international, educational, artistic, and cultural, that really make sure that community can come together through, shared appreciation of nature and different cultural programs.
Wonderful, a relatively new thing to a wonderful history at the Japanese Garden. We're just about out of time.
Oh.
I know, I hate to go already, but Lisa, quickly, how can people best support and take part?
Just come and visit. We love to have that. We are a nonprofit. We always like to make sure people know that because we rely on the donations from our community to help us continue to do this programming, to maintain this beautiful garden, and to continue to be a place of peace and respite for the community.
Great place.
Thanks
Lisa,
for
Aki,
asking.
thanks so much.